Alrighty. Okay, so look, I'm going to do a little news on the Zim dollar. I don't usually do videos on the Zim dollar because the truth is I don't know a whole lot about it. When I first started getting into these currency investments, the Zim dollar was actually the first currency that caught my attention, and I actually thought it was going to be the first currency to actually revalue. So, but as time went on, I got more into the Iraqi dinar and, of course, as well as the Vietnam dong. And I just kind of stopped researching information on the Zimbabwe dollars. But there has been some recent articles that are a little interesting. I thought I'd bring them to you. And first, I want to thank somebody out of my group. This is Marlene Brown. She's the one that first posted this in the group that the Zimbabwe restored dollar peg as currency crashes. So I'm going to cover that article, but I just wanted to thank her for bringing it to our attention in the group. Okay. Having said that, this is pretty interesting. So this is either smart or there's definitely a bigger scam going on or bigger agenda. And that is so the country with no coronavirus cases has declared a national disaster and shut down schools and large gathering. So this is the president of Africa, I believe, and he is shutting down, pretty much shutting down his country like we are doing here in the United States. So no gatherings of more than 100 people. No schools, no nothing, which I just think it's interesting because their economies are already experiencing super hyperinflation, as we all know. And this country can't afford to be going through what a lot of other countries are doing. Now, either this man is a genius and he is just going to do what he can to, even though he might not have no cases of coronavirus, he might just say to himself, look, let's just make sure they don't show up at all. And if that's the case, then maybe this is a good move. But what we've learned so far about the coronavirus is in all the countries that have zero or extremely low cases of coronavirus, that's because these places are usually have high levels of cases of malaria. For those you don't know, what we are finding out is the drug that is used to fight malaria has been very successful against the coronavirus. Now, yeah, we heard 2 people died taking that medicine, but what you haven't been told by the lamestream media is that version of that medicine, which is hyperchlorione, I think is how you pronounce it. They took fish aquarium cleaner version of it. Okay, so it wasn't medicine. They took fish aquarium cleaning. That's what it was, and that's why those people died, and it wasn't because of the drugs. So, anyways, I think this is pretty interesting, but I'm going to show you why I think there's a bigger agenda happening here, especially when you have a country that's experiencing real economical issues. There's a lot of instability there. It's not a very stable country, but I'm going to get into it a little bit more here. So, anyways, look, I want to just quickly remind everybody that I have Pimpy's investment chat. It's the same as the YouTube channel. I will leave a link to this in the description, and I encourage everybody to follow it and come join. It's for free. And in here, we have all kinds of news on the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong. People do post information, as you saw, about the Zim dollar, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. It's all in here. So I encourage you to come here. Speaking of cryptocurrencies, a lot of you have been asking me where to go. I leave a link in the description. If you follow it, you could buy cryptocurrencies at that website. In addition to it, you can get $10 free just for joining. But for those of you who have joined, I encourage you to scroll down to where it says earn cryptos. It's free. You could get somewhere between $40 and $60 of free cryptos just by watching these little videos. All right. So again, I'll leave a link to this group here as well as a link to the cryptocurrency market. Okay. Now, going from here to this is why I think there's a bigger agenda happening. Check this out. So Zimbabwe's lack of cash for once is a good thing. So what this article goes on to talk about is this. Okay, so Zimbabwe's severe cash shortage is providing the impoverished Southern Africa countries with some relief of fight against the coronavirus, one less way of spreading the disease. That's because about 90% of their transactions are done digitally. After an economical collapse caused foreign currencies and local banknotes to dry up. While Zimbabwe only has 2 cases of COVID-19, the government has declared a national emergency as the outbreak could overwhelm the health system in a nation battling shortage of everything from fuel to food. All right, and I'll leave this link in here, but they're going on to say that these people are starting to become a cashless society. We talked about this in other videos where there's this movement. I told you, and I don't think it's a good one. I think there needs to be a combination, if you're going to have cryptocurrencies, of a gold-backed fiat currency as well as cryptocurrencies. If we go 100% into a cashless society, this is not good. What's to keep them from going into negative interest rates and just zapping your money? Or even doing a bail-in. Right now, I've heard a lot of reports about a bail-in coming in. And for those of you who don't know what that is, go to my video said Lessons from Cyprus. It's very important that you check it out. There's a lot of information in there. It's something we have to look forward to. I remember when I was making that video, I told everybody I felt like that was a test run. It was a test run. As a matter of fact, I posted a couple of videos from Lynette Zhang telling everybody what happened in Cyprus is going to happen here, and she has a good reason why. Anyway, so I just think it's interesting that they're calling, and I said this is happening everywhere. We're noticing that everybody's trying to push, and especially here in the United States, we saw a bill in which they wanted to push us into cryptocurrencies, all right? So we could talk about that. Here it is. $1 trillion stimulus jumpstarts project to issue central bank currencies on Ethereum. Now, for those of you who follow my videos, people ask me all the time, what cryptocurrencies do you buy? I only buy 2, XRP and Ethereum. They're the only 2 that I buy. And over the last couple of weeks, there has been a lot of talk about those 2 currencies in particular. Okay, so, but again, I'm just going to say this. I don't have a lot of faith in cryptocurrencies. As a matter of fact, I don't anticipate them being around very long. Once everybody gets screwed over by the fiat currency, this crash that we're experiencing, and you find that the banks were behind this, just because they say, oh, there's no more banks, or we go into a type of cryptocurrencies and we do away with central banks, is the rumor, but they're not really gone away. It's just a lie. They just found a newer way to control us, and that's what this is. Cryptocurrencies, they could track every transaction you make. They can digitally create more, which is not good. It just kills the value. They could take away yours. Okay, so I don't have any faith in cryptocurrencies, but I'm also smart enough to know there is a window of opportunity in which we could benefit from it. So when people ask me all the time, which cryptocurrencies do you buy, Pimpy, I say the XRP and the ETH, which is a short for Ethereum, okay? So anyways, especially when somebody like Maxine Waters gets behind something, look, this is one of the most corrupt Democratic politicians in Congress. You don't have to take my word. Go Google it. You will see that Maxine Waters has been voted the most corrupt politician 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row. All right? And still she somehow manages to stay in power. So whenever somebody like Maxine Waters gets behind something like pushing cryptocurrencies, man, you have to ask yourself what is really going on. I don't like anything that the Democrats push forward because they have a habit of telling everybody that, hey, this is good for the people, when in fact it's not. Okay, so you can see how all these countries are starting to fall in line. All right, this guy's saying, hey, we need to close the country down. It's going to really tank their economy worse than it already is. This here is saying that they're going to a cashless society and it's a good thing, and how everybody's already doing digital banking. I told you we've been doing it anyways. The only difference between the digital banking that we're doing now versus a cryptocurrency is nothing. Nothing. Well, let me rephrase that. If you hold cryptocurrencies, it has an opportunity to either appreciate or depreciate, okay, in value. But the truth of the matter is we've been doing electronic banking for a long time, okay? But I still think we should not do 100% away with paper notes, okay? Just back them up with gold, which we see that's going to happen. And then you can partner them up, especially with blockchain technology. That's going to be really good. But anyways, if you go in here, I'll leave the link to this article. You can see what they have in mind and where there is. They're trying to push us just like they're doing other countries. And guess what they're using as the excuse to push us into a cashless society? You guessed it, the coronavirus. They're saying, oh, although several people have said several times, and even in this report, it goes on to say there is no scientific proof that people are getting the coronavirus from currencies at all, either paper nor coins. All right, there's no proof of it, but that's what they're going to push into your face. That even though we've had paper now for quite a long time, and we've had the swine flu and everything else, and that never was a concern back then. Now, magically, I told you, every time we move from one new type of federal system into another, they always use some type of pandemic to push the masses into it. They use fear to do so. But this is actually a really good article for those of you looking to buy into cryptocurrencies. I said it before and I'll say it again. There's only two that I buy, and this is just my opinion. There's no other ones I will buy. Bitcoin's at its end. They have halving coming up in May, and it doesn't look like they're going to reach the price that they need to keep people mining that coin. For those of you who don't know, Ethereum is the backup Bitcoin. All right, you could research that and look into that, but I'll leave a link for this. So we've heard a lot about XRP as well as Ethereum over these last couple of weeks. These are the only two current cryptocurrencies that I hold. I listen to a guy named Chico Crypto on YouTube, and it does a really great job of exposing the bad cryptocurrencies and why, and the corruption behind it, but also talks about the ones that are good. And two of them that he thinks XRP is bad, but the one that he's really high on is Ethereum. All right. So anyways, to move past that, this might be interesting for you who own Zim dollars. Look at Zimbabwe restores dollar peg as a currency crashes. All right. Zimbabwe's government, which banned the use of the dollar 9 months ago, has restored the peg. Its currency had to the greenback has restored the currency. Its currency has restored the peg. Its currency had to the greenbacks to the. Okay. Anyways, sometimes I read these articles. I don't know if I'm reading it wrong or if the freaking thing is just written wrong. Anyways, it's been. So they pegged back to the greenback dollars due to scarcity of their foreign exchange. All right. This is good. This brings some stability back to the Zimbabwe dollar. Now, I find this interesting because in 2008, they ended the old Zimbabwe dollars. And I showed everybody in one of my videos, go back and look for the Zim ones, where the reinstatement had already taken place. I showed you a chart in which they did the currency swap. That's when they did the exchange. They exchanged those older currencies, and I showed you in there what the rate was. So go back, because I don't do very many Zimbabwe videos. As a matter of fact, I think I might have one or two besides this way. But go back there and watch them, because in one of the videos, I showed you what the exchange rate was. So I showed you what the exchange rate was for the old Zimbabwe notes, and then I showed you what the Zim notes were for the current ones. So they had already changed in value. So I encourage you to go back and look at that. But anyways, this is a great article. And again, I'll leave the link down below that goes on to talk about, the fact that they have pegged themselves back to the dollar to bring some stability to it. Okay, so look, I don't talk a lot about the Zim dollars. I don't know a whole lot about it. But there's your news from now. I hope you guys liked it. Smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And again, I encourage you to go look at the other Zim videos that I've created, because I think you'll get a lot from it. All right? Talk to you later. Bye.